Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It seems there is nobody joining the call. Thank you for taking the time to attend our Zoom this evening. Today, we are privileged to have our professor live from Kampala Boulevard, our very own Ethel Migisha, to take us through the product of the month. Ethel comes with a rich experience in public speaking, in coaching, in guidance and counseling. And she's the one who is going to take us this evening. Please, I hope you have pens and papers and books and notepads to just take in what she has for us today. So, Ethel, take it in, my sister.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for taking the time to attend this call. This is the first of the many that are to come. And my apologies, my voice is a bit hoarse. As you can all witness, we are all in chilly weather, but I'm getting better by the day. So without wasting any more time, I'll kick it off. Today we are going to talk about CARB-BAL, which is one of our weight management products, and it's our product in focus for this month. The reason why we focus on such products every month is we notice most people don't order them, they don't use them. So we decided to enlighten people about it so that they can learn about the benefits of the product. I myself have been using it and it has done amazing, it has given me amazing benefits. So, and I think the rest of the people, especially those who are really into weight management like myself, should really start using it. So like I said, CARB-BAL is a weight management product. It's a capsule, a herbal capsule. And we will begin by talking about carbohydrates. CARB-BAL in full is carbohydrates balance. That's why it's CARB-BAL. So the carb is carbohydrates in full and balance, and BAL is balance. So when we talk about carbohydrates, carbohydrates are essential food nutrients that your body, a minute, please. Remove. Okay. So there are essential food nutrients that your body turns into glucose to give you the energy function. If you've noticed, whenever you take a carbohydrate diet or meal, there's a sort of energy that you feel for a moment. And carbohydrates are very good for us, as some people think carbohydrates are bad, but we do need carbohydrates. As you can see, they turn glucose into energy, and we need energy every single day to function. So we have different types of carbohydrates. We have those ones that come from grains, from sugars, and from starchy vegetables like bread, like flour, chips, and baked goods, all kinds of baked goods that you know. We have potatoes. Then we have concentrated food products like fruit juices, syrup. When we talk about concentrated fruit products, we talk about these juices that you buy from the supermarket. Those are the concentrated ones. Then we have syrups. These are mostly baking products and sweeteners. And you can see I've indicated they're unhealthy foods. I'll discuss more about that. Then we have carbohydrates found in vegetables, which are your healthy foods like celery, excuse me, cucumber, tomatoes, eggplants, and so many more. So how does the body process carbohydrates? So as you all know, we have a digestive system. This is where the food goes that we eat from the mouth. So what it does is break down the carbs into glucose or blood sugar. But you know, as blood sugar is glucose that comes from your carbs. Then your bloodstream absorbs the glucose and uses it as energy to fuel your body. You forgive me, I'll be coughing often because of my voice, but I have water. So the amount of carbohydrates you consume affect the blood sugar. So it depends. If you have a high carbohydrate diet, there's always an effect. If you have a low carbohydrate diet, there's also an effect. So it works both positively and negatively. So taking in a lot of carbs can raise blood sugar levels, and that situation is called hyperglycemia. which puts you at risk for diabetes. So if you know anyone who is diabetic, whether it's type 1 or type 2, you always know that the condition came from that, from having a high carbohydrate diet every single day. Then for some people who don't consume enough carbs, have low blood sugar, which is hypoglycemia. So we can see carbs are not bad. They just have to be taken in moderation. If you decide to eliminate them completely, then you'll develop low blood sugar, as you can see. Then if we talk about how much carbs you should eat, like I've mentioned, you need to eat them in moderation. And you need to eat mostly the ones that are from the healthy side of them, like we looked at the vegetables that I mentioned. So one thing, if you look at the diagram that I've put there, there's a chart that indicates more carbs and less carbs. So those ones are safe. When we are eating carbs, we should look at carbohydrates that are below 5 grams. Now, those ones, what they do is they also produce glucose, but in moderation, not as highly as the others would do. So if you want to make sure that your your glucose is in check, you don't have a high blood sugar spike, you need to eliminate grains, starchy foods, sugars from your diet completely. If you have to have them, have limited amounts. Then we need to increase those vegetables, like I mentioned, your cucumber, your eggplants, your tomatoes, your avocado. Talk about radish, we talk about asparagus, we talk about spinach, talk about your broccoli, your green beans, your cauliflower, and of course your red pepper and yellow pepper, and the list goes on. Yeah. Then we need to upgrade consumption of raw vegetables, salads, and juices. I know we like to cook our vegetables, but vegetables are best taken when they are raw, like the cucumbers that you see and the tomatoes. If you're to cook them, then you need to cook them on moderate heat. Like you don't have to cook them too until they become really soft. You need to eat them and bite them while they're still hard. Then you need to transition into organic foods, that is eating high quality proteins. Remember, what proteins do is they just go through your body. They just only give you bodybuilding blocks, but they don't provide fat. That's where now we need carbohydrates, but in moderation and the healthy ones. Then we need to eliminate alcohol, artificial sweeteners. I talked about them in part of the grains and sugars, and trans fats. Trans fats are fats that you get from processed foods. That is your baked foods, your chapati, your cassava, and the list goes on. Then transition from coffee to high quality waters and herbal teas. Coffee is good, but coffee is good when taken in moderation, not too much of it, because it tends to alter that hormone that works with your brain and your heart. So in our African society, it's quite hard to eliminate carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are like a staple food. I remember in school we used to eat portion beans every day, which is a high carbohydrate diet. But in cases like that, for us Africans who can't really like get off carbohydrates, we introduce what we call supplements. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to focus on CARB-BAL and how we can take our carbs guilty-free. So in a fast-paced lifestyle with increased stress levels and exposure to environmental pollutants means that your body needs a full range of nutrients to stay healthy. Yet the modern diet with low salt nutrients means that you're missing the key nutrients. I just wanted to mention that so that you can know about it. So I introduced to you what we call CARB-BAL capsules, which is help curb your sugar cravings naturally. So CARB-BAL is just a herbal capsule. It doesn't taste, it doesn't smell in a bad way. It's just a simple capsule that you take before that high carbohydrate diet. So what it does is absorb fewer carbohydrates. It supports your body in ketosis, which I'll discuss about. It's safe and natural. Our products are from New Zealand, and if you know New Zealand, they don't compromise when it comes to standards of product quality, and they are very organic country, so everything of theirs that they produce is safe and natural. And for best results, you can take a bar with UD2 shake, which is your shake or your Slim Diet Shake. And I think in the future there we shall be talking about what Ultra Diet does. But for those who are new on the call, it's just a protein shake, and what it does is just help you keep you fuller for longer in between meals. So as we continue there, we look at what CARB-BAL does. It has three main benefits, which is balance, which is regulate your healthy blood sugar levels. And we have armor, which is help you balance carbohydrate intake, and lightness, which lowers carbohydrate intake, meaning a lighter feeling. The first thing I noticed when I took CARB-BAL was, I think there was a time when I had eaten a heavy lunch here, and it was a high carbohydrate diet. And I think I took it at around, I ate it at around 3 p.m. And then I had to go back home and have supper. You know, we African kids, we don't want to disappoint our parents. They've put their heart and soul into the meals they prepared. And then you come along and say, I don't want to eat. So I needed to eat. So what I did, I remember that we have a product called CARB-BAL. I was like, let me try it. So what I did is I took it 30 minutes before the meal, and my stomach felt like I'd not eaten at all. I ate the food and finished it, and it was a shocker for me. So that's when I noticed that it gives you a lighter feeling. So meaning that when you take it before, it helps you break down those sugars that you get from your carbohydrate meal. So if you simply take one capsule with water 30 minutes before meals, 3 times a day. So if I talk about carbohydrates, what it does is, I talked about that it increases your blood sugar levels, which is insulin. And most cases, what happens is when we depend a lot on these carbohydrate foods, the pancreas is forced to produce insulin, but it reaches a point and it stops. It has its limit. And when it stops doing that, then we get a situation called insulin resistance. And when you become insulin resistant, then that's when you start getting your diabetes type 1 and 2. I live with someone who has type 2, so I know what I'm talking about. And generally, it came as a reason of taking up I remember there's a time when she ate carbohydrates morning, afternoon, and evening. So it became detrimental for her. And it doesn't, you don't eat them today and then get diabetes tomorrow. It's a continual thing. When you keep on doing it and you're not fixing the problem, then that's when you get that problem. Now, I know some people would be asking, but I eat carbohydrates every day and I feel okay. The thing is, you need to exercise, but for most of us, especially us who work in offices, we live a sedentary lifestyle. We sit a lot in office. We don't exercise. We don't even walk. We just get out of our chairs and go get a taxi, and the physical activity is very minimal. So if you exercise, you're burning fat, and when you're burning fat, you're also burning glucose at the same time. So if you're eating carbohydrates and you're exercising, that's okay. You're doing your body justice. So yeah. So when we continue on, CARB-BAL has three main ingredients. And one of them is extract. Now this one is an Ayurvedic herb. This is from India, with traditional use in the management of blood sugar levels by reducing the absorption. The Hindi name for dilemma means destroyer of sugar, and it really is a destroyer. So clinical trials have shown reduction in blood sugar when used in conjunction. Then the next one is the white kidney bean seed extract. I love this herb as well. It delays digestion and absorption of carbohydrates by blocking an enzyme which is alpha-lase. It enables the absorption of carbohydrates. And we have fenugreek seed extract, which is traditionally being used to manage blood sugar. You can even find fenugreek seeds in Indian supermarkets. They are very good when you take them with your meals or just alone, maybe with water. Many people prepare tea. And we have premium, which helps regulate blood sugar levels, hence reducing cravings and ensuring that you feel balanced. When you're using CARB-BAL, you notice that you will no longer have a sugar craving. You won't crave for those carbohydrates, which is a good thing. You see, the more you take carbohydrates, the more you crave for them, which is a bad thing. Because the more you crave for them, the more you add glucose, The glucose turns into fat, and when it looks for where to store fat, that's when you have your fat on your belly, you have fat on your hips, on your underarms. Like it just finds where to store fat. So when it has stored fat in all the areas that it has exhausted and it has nowhere to store fat, then that's when we start getting issues like high blood pressure and high diabetes type 1 and 2 and the rest. So yeah, so that's CARB-BAL in general. I don't know if any of you have any questions, but if there are no questions, I'll close by saying that the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. I normally encourage that, yes, the supplements are there and available. The supplements won't work if you don't change your lifestyle. You begin by changing your lifestyle and the supplements will work for you. You won't keep doing the bad thing just because you have a solution for it, because the solution won't work in a very disturbing environment. So yeah, so to get CARB-BAL, you can find us at our offices at Kampala Boulevard, that second floor, room 203. We open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can find me. I'm the head trainer here, and ask me all about CARB-BAL. We have testimonies of people using CARB-BAL. We actually use CARB-BAL here at the office, so we're not talking about things we're not using. And yes, you can get your CARB-BAL anytime, any day. I would like to close by thanking Jen for having given me this opportunity of training you guys, of being a professor like she claims. I'm just like you. I'm just very passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about research, especially when it comes to health and nutrition. I'd also like to thank you guys who have spared your time to be on this call and learn more, and keep the spirit and invite us next time. From me to you, it's a good night. God bless. Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor. We still have a couple of minutes in case anybody is in the call and has a question about carbohydrates, CARB-BAL. Please unmute and ask, or you type in the chat room.
Actually, this is Abraham, but I request they be brief because we are left with only 6 minutes.
Mr. Technician, thank you for that. Please ask.
Yes, can I ask?
Please
Yes.
proceed, Madam Lucy.
Yes, I wanted her to repeat the statement of how the fat, the carbohydrates turns into diabetes 1 and 2. There is some word which I missed out.
Okay, no
Madam
worries.
Professor.
No worries, Lucy. We can take you back there. So like I said, your digestive system breaks down carbs into glucose or blood sugar. Then what your bloodstream does is absorb the glucose and use it for energy. And that's when I said the amount of carbs that you consume affect your blood sugar in a positive way and in a negative way. Taking in a lot is a bad thing. Taking low carbs is also a bad thing. So you need to take carbs in moderation. And when you take a lot of carbs, which raises your blood sugar levels, then what that situation is called is high blood sugar, which is hyperglycemia. If you want to know the spelling of the word, it's on your screen. Hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar, or what we call diabetes type 2. Type 2 is when you have a high blood sugar, and type 2 don't depend on insulin. They have too much sugar already. They always have to bring it down. Then when we talk about consuming low carbs, that's if you're not consuming enough carbs, because everything we eat has a recommended daily allowance. So, but if you take less than that, then you succumb to what we call low blood sugar, which is hypoglycemia, equally to diabetes type 1. That's why diabetes type 1 have to use insulin. They always have to inject insulin because their insulin is too low. In fact, when they don't have insulin next to them, they always run for a sweet. Even you yourself, even if you don't have diabetes, there are moments in times when you have really exhausted your body and you start feeling weak. But then you notice that when you take a soda or a fruit juice, you gain your energy back. That means that your blood sugar was low and you needed to, to put it back into moderation. And that's when you take that drink. But we don't normally advise to go for that. You only go for it just that one time. But next time you be cautious so that you don't let that situation happen to you again. So yeah, I hope I have answered your question, Lucy.
Yeah,
Okay.
now we have how many minutes? Because I have
No,
said,
our time is up.
sure,
Unfortunately, our time is up.
Our time is up, Lucy.
But you
okay.
you can always access my office, come through and ask me anything that you need. If you need the presentation, I can also give it to you. And yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending the Zoom. This is our very fast Zoom for Product in Focus, and we are going to be doing it every week. I encourage you to tell all your peers, your friends, the fellow distributors, even if they are not distributors, anybody who is interested with their health, to be attending.